about the titties that were on Twitch last night. I don't know if anybody was on Twitch the other night when the tsunami that they unleashed hit. What a show. Dude, it was such a nightmare. I was in a call. I was excited to get on stream today because I had a bunch of images that I was going to censor. Shad sent me a picture of his face that I could use. I had a bunch of pictures I was going to put up on stream, and now I don't want to because I'm scared I'm going to get in trouble. So we're not going to show anything that I had. All I'll say is we were watching one stream. None of the big ones people are talking about. I found a really tiny one. If you follow me on Twitter, you know what stream I'm talking about because I posted about it. That had a whole anus and just vagina. Just a whole show just right up on the center of the screen. It was a still image. It was drawn. And we sat in a VC for about, I want to say 2 hours with a bunch of the streams open, just seeing who would get taken down. And then I woke up and surprisingly, all of them were gone. Controversy Vader's rooted for everybody. Oh, yeah, no. As an artist, yeah, no. These greedy idiots that ruined it for everybody, because not everybody genuinely was pushing the envelope. There's probably a lot of people that just don't have the best reading comprehension, didn't understand, or misread it. Like a genuine mistake misread too, not even a reading comprehension thing, just genuinely misunderstood it. Because it was worded very confusingly. I have the terms up. We can read through the originals. I like seeing VTubers put googly eyes in their booba. I'm not going to read through all of it. Everyone probably knows about it by now. The quick rundown of it before we jump into the actual original update that they've walked back, but we'll get to that. They posted a tweet that says, "We've gotten feedback that our policies around sexual content are unclear, so we've drawn clearer boundaries between what is and isn't permitted on Twitch. We also recognize that not everyone wants to see certain content, so we're updating our criteria for homepage recommendations." I want everyone to keep in mind the sentence, "We also recognize that not everyone wants to see certain content." I want everyone to keep that in mind because we're going to come back to this. Here's the FAQ for it. Specifically, what is changing with this new update? Some types of content that were prohibited will now be allowed on Twitch if appropriately labeled. These changes include content that deliberately highlighted breast, buttocks, or pelvic region, even when fully closed. Streamers found it difficult to determine what was prohibited and what was allowed, and often evaluating whether or not a stream violated this portion of the policy was subjective. In addition, the former sexually suggestive content policy was out of line with industry standards and resulted in female-presenting streamers being disproportionately penalized. Fictionalized or drawn, animated, or sculpted, fully exposed female-presenting breasts and or genitals from buttocks regardless of gender. There is a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overtly punitive and did not reflect the impact of the content. This is the part that I feel like they were trying to target with this, but it was so short-sightedly implemented and hastily implemented that it was easily abused. And there is a lot of artists on Twitch. There are art streams I've wanted to do in the past that I couldn't do on Twitch because it would have been against my the TOS. Granted, it's not exactly smut. It's just the angles I was drawing would directly reflect negatively when compared to the TOS. And like no genitals were shown in the things I was drawing, but even just like under boob is not allowed. So stuff like that would possibly get me into some sort of issue. Granted, I'm a smaller streamer, but I still didn't want to take the risk. Body writing on female presenting breasts and or buttocks regardless of gender. The Twitch attire policy already allows body art on the breasts and buttocks, so this change makes these policies consistent. Erotic dances that involve disrobing or disrobing gestures, such as strip teases. Changes to popular dances. Popular dances such as twerking, grinding, and pole dancing are now allowed without a label. Previously, some dances were prohibited and others were allowed with a label. Enforcing on dances regardless of context meant our policy prohibited twerking at a wedding or taking a pole dancing exercise class, for example. The policy now takes context into consideration and only prohibits streaming inside of an adult entertainment establishment. As we're reading through this, I know they already ran it back. So anyone watching this, like, they already changed this. We're all aware here for the most part. If you're not aware, they already ran this back. They didn't update the access for this stuff. You could still, there wasn't a check on any of this. It's still, hey, are you over 13? Cool, you can make, is it 13 on Twitch? Are you over 13? You can make an account here. Let's continue though. With the updates to the sexual content policy, are artistic depictions of nudity allowed? Content with a focus on fictionalized or drawn, animated, or sculpted sexual body parts, regardless of gender, such as doing nude figure drawing, are allowed with sexual themes, or with a sexual themes label. Literally just added an 18 check and an NSFW tech. Yeah, I know. We're getting there. However, fictionalized sexual acts or masturbation remain prohibited. So here's where it went like horribly, horribly wrong. Here's where it went horribly wrong. People were taking this, the previously prohibited but now allowed with a label segment of fictionalized, fully exposed female presenting breasts and or genitals or buttocks, regardless of gender. There is a thriving artist community on Twitch, and this policy was overly punitive, blah, blah, blah. People were taking this to mean, oh, my VTuber model's art, it's drawn, or it's animated. I'm sorry, I'm not animated. This is animated through translation of my actual physical movements, but this is not animated in the way that this is meaning, in the context of an art, like an artist animating it, or sculpting it, or drawing it. And a lot of people took this to mean that they could just go on Twitch with no clothes on their model. We saw 3 streamers total last night. Why is my hand tracking just sucking all of a sudden? We saw 3 streamers total last night on the front page of an account that I have that is not over the age of 18. Why? And this is where I wanted to show pictures, and I wish I could show pictures so bad, but I can't. If you go on my Twitter, though, you can find what I tweeted there. So, aneurysm waiting room. Like, just all of the accounts were, granted, they weren't on the homepage. I had to go to browse, and I had to go to just chatting or art. I had to go into a category, but once I went into a category, just peppered all up and down that page, just peppered with NSFW art, naked VTubers, and I didn't get a notification of, hey, this is meant for adults, until I clicked on one. So I got the whole screenshot of just anus and pussy from one stream in particular that I tweeted about on my Twitter, or X, and you don't get a warning for it. That hole on the timeline. What blows my mind is no 18 and over check, period. And I have a screenshot saved that I cannot show you guys. Hey guys, Future Cell here. I scrolled through about 80 some odd tweets trying to find this screenshot that was floating around. I cannot, so apologies, but just, I guess, take my word for it. Sorry. But if you go on Twitter, you can probably find it floating around. A full page ad of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then in the top right corner, there's just naked VTubers right next to it. Whoever at Twitch was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Just give us an NSFW area. Just give us an 18 and up page. If I have to go into that category because I swear so much, or I'm playing something that means I'm in it, I'm fine with that. But just either commit or don't commit. Why are we... I'm tired of... As much as I'm going to bitch about YouTube, and YouTube doesn't seem to care about the streaming side of things, even now. They seem to have forgotten. And streaming on YouTube sucks. at least when YouTube is taking a step, it's a feature that gets rolled out, or like at least a decent 3/4 step, not this weird quarter or half step that Twitch keeps doing. So they rolled this back. Here's what they put out today. Can I put on Christmas music? Can I put on like a good Christmas song that I really like? Okay, I'm gonna let this play. I'm gonna let this song play because I like this song. So here's what Danny Clancy put out today. I don't know why I say Danny Clancy. I feel like that opens me up to someone like screaming that I'm making his name more effeminate for like a cheap jab or something. Belly Chrysler. Are you peeps? I'm doing okay. Not too bad. Pokemon pristine. On Wednesday, we updated our sexual content policy. Our primary goal in making these updates were to make our guidelines easier to understand and enforce. Part of this update included changes to how we treat fictionalized nudity. For years, through user voice and in conversations, we heard from artists that our content policies were limiting. As an artist, they were. They are. I'm on the artist side here. The policies on this site are incredibly annoying when it comes to really like doing the nitty gritty of art. Like, you want to do proper nude figure drawings or nude pose based exercises. You can't do that, and you can't share that with your chat. So if you have an artistic community, you can't actually like do like a proper training session with them, which is really irritating. What is the word I want? What is the word I want? Not figure drawing. Shoot. Does anybody know the gesture drawing? Gesture drawing. That's what I want. What is this, Leo? What is this? Metal Gear Collective. Okay, we'll play that later, I promise. Just remind me. We'll play it later. Yo, MGR? I'll play it after this, I promise. First, we want to make it clear that some streamers, in response to this update, created content that was in violation of our new policy. Anyway. First, we want to make it clear that some streamers, in response to this update, created content that was in violation of our new policy. We've worked quickly to remove the content that content and issue channel enforcements. However, there was also a great deal of new content that was allowed under the updated policy. Much of the content created has been met with community concern. This is terrible. This is so bad. These are concerns we share upon reflection. We have decided that we went too far with this change. Digital depictions of nudity present a unique challenge. AI can be used to create realistic images, and that can be hard to distinguish between digital art and photography. So effective today, we are rolling back the artistic nudity changes. Moving forward, depictions of real or fictional nudity won't be allowed on Twitch, regardless of the medium. This restriction does not apply to mature rated games. You can find emote-specific standards for nudity and sexual content and emote guidelines, blah, blah, blah. We are in the process of pushing out updates to our community guidelines that reflect this change. It will take a few days for both this blog and the new community guidelines to be translated. While I wish we could have predicted this outcome, or would have predicted this outcome, part of our job is to make adjustments that serve the community. I apologize for the confusion that this update has caused. They know how prominent VTubers are, and it's already confusing what applies to VTubers versus like an IRL streamer. IRL being just a person in a chair. And it's been solidified for the most part, but it's still not completely completely clear. Because I went through their support page trying to figure out exactly where it's shown, and the only place I could find was, I believe, here, which is in a blog post from 2020. I couldn't find this on their official page, but the summary on Google shows it on the official page on the community guidelines, but I couldn't find it when I would control F over here. It just says it doesn't exist. And I've expanded a lot of this stuff and I haven't been able to find it. If someone knows where it is, Robin, if you're in chat and you know where it is, tell me. Because there's no augmented virtual, hold on. Users may not engage in simulated sexual activity. Okay, this isn't about just like normal nudity. Because on their main community guidelines page, I can't find anything about it, clearly. What am I looking for? So the only place that mentions that the same rules that apply to like a normal real person applies to a VTuber as well is on this blog post from April 7th of 2020. What do you think of a TOS nerd? I don't know. You're also a streamer. I figured you might know. I don't know. I've been like they don't make this stuff clear, and it's not clear over here. I got a full copyright strike watching a trailer for Horse Girl anime. How'd you get a copy? Bro, I've watched just straight up half episodes of anime at random on the stream. How are you getting a copyright? What are you doing? What's happened? Why is Discord React on? Go away. What are you doing? What? How are you getting strikes and I'm not? Half the shit I watch over here?